Welcome to another Dragonstaff tutorial. As you probably know, I'm Daniel Dragonstaff. Today, I'm very excited because I'm teaching one of my favorite Dragonstaff tricks. It is one that I have not seen anyone else do with the Dragonstaff. I came across it while I was trying to do a move that I seen Linda Farkas do with a contact staff. Kind of stumbled upon this on accident. Luckily, I was recording it on video, so I was able to watch the video over and over again and figure out how to do it consistently now to the point where I can do it continuously. So I don't have a name for this trick. It's some kind of forearm roll, kicky flippy leg thingy. I'll just demonstrate for you. So I do consider this an advanced move. I wouldn't expect to get it on the first try. If you do, that's awesome. I wouldn't even expect to get it in the first week. So this is something to keep coming back to, keep practicing. There are a couple of prerequisites to this move. One is going to be a forearm roll. Furthermore, the forearm roll trap that I recently posted on Patreon, which is this here. I can post a link to the forearm roll in the description, and if you're on Patreon, you can see the forearm roll trap already. The other thing that you'll want to know, if you don't already know it, is a Steve. And lastly, you're going to want to have some pretty good balance because we are going to be spending some time on one leg. As usual, we're just going to cover one side with my tutorials, mainly to save time. In this occasion, it is also because I have not fully figured out this trick on the other side. I know, do as I say, not as I do. It was a difficult trick to figure out. I have not converted it to the other side, so I'm going to be teaching it on the side that is dominant for me. And that is going to be starting with a forearm roll on the left arm and balancing on the left leg and doing the flippy kicky part with the right leg. So like I said, you'll want to have some decent balance for that. So because this one can be tricky, we're going to take it in steps. Hopefully that will make it less confusing. So step one, forearm roll. In a normal forearm roll, we would let it keep going continuously by pivoting at the elbow. This is where you'll want to know the forearm roll trap. Instead of letting it pivot at the elbow, you're going to let the center point roll across the chest, and if it were a forearm roll trap, you'd go into the forearm roll trap into the opposite arm. So, part two, forearm roll trap. This is where it's going to get a bit different because we're not going to send the center point into the opposite arm, but we are going to use that same motion of letting it go over the armpit across the chest. This would be part three. If you're familiar with yoga, we're going to do almost in the direction of a tree pose or Greek shasana. Even if you don't do yoga, you've probably seen people do this one. It's the classic for Yoga Journal Today. Tree pose. We're not actually going to do that, but we are going to bring the leg up in a similar shape like that, just not towards the thigh or towards the leg. It'll be bent inward in that same way, but foot forward instead of even with the leg. So, for part three, we're going to send the center point across the chest as we did in the forearm roll trap, and then it's going to go across the chest. We're going to bend the leg and bring it inward and let the center point travel towards that right knee. It won't travel completely down the leg. It's going to go more across because you're going across the chest, across the abdomen, over to this leg. So you can see that. And you can even catch it right there. Let the center point stop at the inner right knee, and you can bring your foot down like I just did. You want to get pretty comfortable with just that. Now this is where the trick is going to get funky. So part 4, this is where it gets spicy. So we end up with this position where the staff stops. Center point is more or less at the inner right knee. And if you lift your foot up, you will see you can catch the staff in the sort of a trap, I guess you could call it here, where the further end of the staff is in front of the right foot, center point, the inner right knee, closer end of the staff touching the inner right thigh. Like I said, this is where it's going to get spicy. And you also have to be quick. So as it's coming towards that inner right knee, you have to tilt your head to the left to avoid smacking yourself with the one end of the staff. I've done it many times with this move. So you have to duck your head to the left as you lift that right leg, that right foot up to the right. And now that far end of the staff, almost went down. That far end of the staff is gonna start rolling up that front of the right leg. And it almost becomes a Steve. So the center point will go closer and closer to the front of the right leg until the center point is reaching somewhere close to the knee, maybe the knee or thigh. This is where we're coming in with part 5. So just that part, I know it was a lot of info, so you'll want to play with that a bit. You got a little glimpse of where we're going. So you can see the far end of the staff starts to roll up the right leg. And if you tilt your head far enough to the left and lift your leg high enough to the right, sure enough, that center point will roll up the front of the right leg. And this is part 5, where you will need to know a Steve, or more specifically, a minimal Steve for Dragonstaff. There are tutorials for that out there on YouTube. I just don't have it. So, as the center point is rolling up the front of the right leg, you'll want to sneak in the top of the right hand. Palm face down, center point is going to roll on top of the right fingers, right hand, so that you can go into a Steve. From where we're at, from part 4, it's rolling up the leg. You lift it up high enough, sneak in, top of the right hand. Center point is traveling up the right arm, duck the head, around the shoulders, and you did it. That's the trick. You can go into whatever from there. You can go right into a chi roll. If you get this move down fully, you can just do it continuously, because as it's coming around the shoulders, down the left arm, you go right into a forearm roll and back to it. But just so that you can see 5th step in more or less real time, rolling up the right leg, sneaking the right arm. I usually do a spin to slow it down in the minimal Steve. Now to put the whole thing together, quick recap. Part 1, forearm roll. Part 2, forearm roll trap. Part 3, go into this leg trap. Part 4, we lift the right leg to let the staff roll up the right leg. Try that one again. And part 5, sneak in the right hand as it's rolling up the right leg to go right into a steve, or more specifically a minimal steve. So like I said, I think of this as an advanced trick. It's probably going to take a bit of practice to finally nail it. I hope that you do get it. If you have any questions, if I left anything out, please do let me know. I'm really excited to see other people doing this trick, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.